I married a monster video. It ended up being way darker than I ever thought it could be. That she had seen some marks on her daughter that the father was responsible for. No one needs to live a dark life alone. Hey, salam everyone. Welcome back to the UFK show. Look, this one's going to be a tough one. I'll be honest, I didn't even know if I wanted to make this video or not, but it's going to be reacting to a video that I stumbled across on the homepage of YouTube. And it is the I married a monster video. Look, I'll be honest, when I first stumbled across this video, basically just clicked it. I was confused because I saw the username was, get a trophy wife. And if you had looked at her previous content, it was something that was to the tune of how to get a high value man, which to each their own, fair enough. But as I was going through her page, which now is gone, if you pop onto it, yeah, see, so she had removed all her videos, but that's what I saw, the new trophy wife become the ultimate woman. And so I saw it said, I married a monster. And so I was confused. I was like, I wonder what happened. And lo and behold, unfortunately, it ended up being way darker than I ever thought it could be. And so I want to start off by saying massive trigger warning to anybody who has either gone through abuse, has been in a terrible relationship in which anything really negative had happened, and also anyone who has essentially experienced child abuse, which is what this video is about. Which, like, I'll be real with you guys, when I clicked it, I had just assumed maybe he had cheated on her, or this woman had been unfortunately married to a guy who ended up not only maybe having an affair, but maybe was abusive and or was potentially physically abusive to her. And it's not like that is something that is anything to scoff at. That's horrible. No one should ever have to go through that. But what I ended up finding out through the video was something that I just wasn't prepared for, and it affected me to a point where I felt like I had to make this video, where I wanted to talk about my thoughts on it, how I felt about it, and the reality of certain situations in life right now. And so I just wanted to first of all say, I'm not sure exactly what this lady's name is, but Isis, I believe that that's her name. I'm so sorry that you have gone through what you have gone through, your family has gone through, and my prayers are with you all, and I hope everything goes smoothly. Whether or not she believes in God or not, I pray that may God make it easy for her. Yeah, it's just tough because if we go back, and I was gonna go watch the video play by play with you guys, because as you guys can see right here, I have gone through the whole video. I've watched it all already, but I feel like I kind of don't want to relive it again. So if anyone wants to watch it again, I will put the link in the description and you guys can check it out over there. But for now, I'm just going to be giving my thoughts on it, giving a brief overview of what happened, and then going from there. So first and foremost, the first quarter of the video was just her talking about being married and how it's been affected her, whatever happened, and how she's processing it. And fair enough, she's going through her emotions, etc., etc. That was that moment where I was unsure of what had happened to her and where she was at, and potentially what the husband had done. And again, in my mind, I'm thinking about the preconceived notion of the fact that, okay, trophy wife, etc., high value man, pretend what we've seen now in this era, this red pill era, is you got the guys like Andrew Tate who had been saying like, oh, multiple girls, this, that, and the other. So I thought maybe it was that type of a situation where this high value man has now switched up on her and been like, no, I want to go do X, Y, Z. Instead, it was this very, very, very dark turn into us being told by her that she had seen something on her daughter, some marks on her daughter, that she was unsure of how they got there, and finding out that the father was responsible for not only her young daughter, who I believe is maybe around 5 years old, and the youngest was around maybe a newborn or a year old, and both daughters had been affected. And she also had some sons as well with this gentleman, I believe. I'm not sure actually if that was the father of the children or if it was the stepfather, but nonetheless, it was a parental figure, and he had been taking advantage of his position and the trust that he had with the wife and the children, and he had been doing these heinous, disgusting things. And I want to make this video because I want to try and really, really speak to people who are, one, healing and going through the the process of trying to deal with what they had gone through in the past. But I also want to speak to people who potentially are in a position in which they themselves are having maybe these thoughts, because in no world should anybody be going through what these children are going through. And in no world anyone act upon any of the impulses or desires they have that involve hurting other people. That is cut and dry. There is no excuse for that. And that's why I wanted to make this video. It's hard to talk about because this stuff is very dark and it's hurtful to so many people. But what's the point of all this? What's the point of me setting all this up if I'm not going to actually talk about the things that really matter? And so yeah, this mother is now dealing with taking care of her children, getting rid of the horrible person who has vilified her life. How not only is it the fact that he has now become this monster, but she had built her identity around this. She had made her identity be this person that is teaching other women how to get a high value man for whatever that's worth. And again, everyone's entitled to their own journey and the people they want to be with. But now she has to face the reality that she's built up this platform, this identity, and that was one of the worst things that she could have done. And that's just a test. If I look at this, sometimes there's things that are completely unavoidable. How could she have known that this is the kind of guy he was, that this is the monster that was inside of him? And so I have nothing but sympathy, and I empathize with her situation, because look, this is coming from a guy who's never really been in a relationship. So if it's because I've been so particular at who I want to involve and invite into my life, I can't even imagine the feeling of actually letting somebody in and then having it turn out this way. Like, that's devastating to anybody who has gone through this, anyone who has actually experienced something like this in a child where someone had taken advantage of them. It's, again, a massive test. And I'm so sorry that you're going through this, but there's no other way than to move forward. With my advice, again, not that this lady needs it because she's going through so much in general, but it would be to be so grateful that you at least have your children with you, that you're in this position where you can be away from the man that is causing all this harm to your family, and to rebuild, to take care of your children, to give them all the love and consideration that you can, to check in with the boys as well, because you never know, and to really just understand that this was something that it was not your fault. And for the children, if they're some old enough to even remember this, it's reminding them that it's not their fault. If anything, to show them how grateful they should be to be away now and alone and together and as a family and united. That is a special blessing in itself. And to not dwell on the sad and harsh reality of having this horrible person in your life, because if you do that, it's just this unending cycle of tragedy and heartbreak. At least this is how I would go about it, in terms of the way I believe it is a lot easier to go through traumatic events. And again, it's not like there's an easy way. This isn't easy. This is a hard situation. It's hard even talking about. This whole situation is tough. It breaks my heart that this is even something that we have to speak about in this day and age. 67,000 subscribers. 67,000 subscribers were watching her talk about the new trophy wife. She's got 2 million views. Granted, that's a lot of that is, I guess, probably the 2 million views she got from this video. But still, there were people watching this woman. They were a part of her journey in her marriage and her relationship, which I'm assuming, look, this woman here is happy. This woman here is someone who's all put together and everything looks amazing on the outside. Who could have imagined what was actually going on? And that sucks. And again, all I want to say with this video is that my prayers are there with Isis and her whole family, and I really pray that everything goes smooth and their healing is easy, and there's so many blessings ahead. They have a bright future ahead of them. The children are still so young, and hopefully they're able to heal and get the support that they need to grow to become healthy, wonderful individuals, which I'm sure they will with the amount of love that they clearly have from their mother. But to the monsters out there, you have to stop. You have to. And look, everyone's flawed. No one's perfect. I'm not a perfect person by any stretch of the imagination, by any means. But we all have to do our best. We all have to fight against the things. Whether you're somebody who wants to light buildings on fire, you're somebody who wants to start fights with people and you're always angry all the time, whether you're somebody who wants to, strangle people and kill people. There are really bad people out there, but it doesn't give you an excuse just because you feel like you want to do it to actually go ahead and hurt other people. It's just not okay. It's not. And that's the reason why I'm making this video, because I don't think that these kids have to go through this. They shouldn't have to go through this. People need to have control over their minds and what they do in their lives, because no grown man who is in a position of power, who has this beautiful family in front of him, should be going and hurting the people closest to them. And not only doing that, but doing the most vile thing a man could possibly do. And so this is a message to anybody who's going through something. If you have a darkness inside of you, if you have your demons, as people now say, and you're potentially in a place where you're not 100% sure, or maybe you've been doing crazy stuff. It doesn't have to exactly be this, but if you're doing something that you know is wrong, talk to people, reach out to people, get your ish together, because inevitably it could get worse enough that you'll hurt the people around you or you'll hurt innocent people. That's just not okay. Not in this day and age. Not when it's so easy to get help. It's so easy to get support. Be a beacon of light in this world. Be somebody who can support people. Be the man who can make his wife proud of being a trophy wife without turning into a monster. How about that? Give her the opportunity to show you off and inspire other women to have high value men. But then don't go turn around and hurt her children. Again, this is a tough video, and I'll be honest, I really didn't want to make it. Even halfway through this, I'm like, do I even want to post this? But these things need to be said. It needs to be said, because there are so many people out there, and there's so many bad things going on, and it's not okay. It's unacceptable. And we all have to collectively work together to make sure these things don't happen. And if they are, that we are either helping the people that have lost their way, or putting them away so that way the rest of society is protected. Everyone's got their issues. Everyone has their issues. Please, if you have issues, deal with them. I saw this thing about this guy, the schoolboy 9 or whatever it was. There's trauma there. There's issues there. There's real deep-seated, no one's just like that by accident. So we have to make sure that we're at least helping people either figure it out and get past whatever issues they're dealing with, or we have to make sure that this stuff cannot happen. And I'll be honest, the more I see from the internet to this day, I'm shocked at what's out there. Even Twitter and X, it's disgusting, the filth that's on there. And again, look, I'm not here to sit on a high horse and I am this perfect, righteous, amazing person. I'm not. I really am not. I have my flaws as a human being, as everyone does. But come on, y'all. Come on. Can't we just be better as a collective? Can't we all strive to be better? Why is this stuff out there? Why are we letting this stuff be out there? I get it. Elon wants to make X for free speech. I get it. But not to the point where there's some of the most horrible stuff I have seen on X or Twitter or whatever you want to call it. So anyways, look, that's it for me. If you want to support, it's not here, but I believe it's on her channel, and there you go. after all that, we got the little, is that like a little Temu sponsorship? Anyways, I swear she had a GoFundMe. She does have a GoFundMe. Here's the link to the GoFundMe. I will go ahead and pop that in the description so that way you can support her and help her and her family. She's raised $10,000. Incredible, amazing people out there supporting. I don't really have much else to say. I feel like I've said a lot. And yeah, I hope that if anything, this was a small kind of come from a place of love and a place of sincerity. Again, I'm not even sure if I'm going to post this, but it is something that I felt like was important to say. And again, if anybody is going through anything, feel free to even reach out to me or reach out to any therapist, or I know there must be somebody in your life that you can talk to. Again, and if not, there are so many hotlines out there. Please speak to them. There is no shortage of support that you can find if you just look for it. And so look for it, please. No one needs to live a dark life alone, and no one needs to hurt other people so that way the cycle doesn't end. End the cycle yourself. Be a beacon of light. Anyways, that's it from me. I wish you all well wherever, whenever you are. Inshallah, may Allah make it easy for everybody. Whether you believe in God or not, I pray that everybody is doing well. Anyways, take care. That's it for me. Yallah.